Have you ever pondered the legal term negligence? It might sound complicated, but it's actually a simple idea that can be broken down into manageable parts. Imagine you're walking around your neighborhood and you trip over a poorly maintained sidewalk. That's an everyday example of negligence. The city or property owner has a duty to maintain that sidewalk and they fail to do so, causing you to trip and possibly injure yourself. In legal terms, negligence is when someone fails to take proper care in doing something, and this lack of care leads to harm or damage. The key elements that constitute negligence are a duty of care between the parties, a breach of that duty, and an injury or damage as a result of that breach. To really bring this concept to life, consider the landmark case of Donahue v. Stevenson. This tale of a snail in a bottle of ginger beer is one of the most famous in legal history. Mrs. Donahue drank a bottle of ginger beer in a cafe in Paisley, Scotland. Unknown to her or the cafe owner, the opaque bottle contained the decomposed remains of a snail. Mrs. Donahue fell ill, and she sued the ginger beer manufacturer, Mr. Stevenson. The court held that Mr. Stevenson owed a duty of care to Mrs. Donahue, which he breached. This breach of duty caused her to suffer harm, which in this case was illness and shock. The snail in the bottle of ginger beer was not visible, making it impossible for Mrs. Donahue or the cafe owner to notice it. This case set a significant legal precedent. The court established that a person owes a duty of care not to act or fail to act in such a way as to cause harm to those who it can be reasonably foreseen would be affected by their actions or omissions. So, in a nutshell, negligence occurs when someone fails to do something they should have done, or does something they shouldn't have, and this causes harm to someone else. In the case of Donahue v. Stevenson, Mr. Stevenson, the ginger beer manufacturer, was negligent because he failed to ensure his product was safe for consumption, leading to harm for Mrs. Donahue. And that, my friends, is the concept of negligence in a nutshell. It's all about duty, breach, and harm. Thank you for joining us on this journey to understanding legal concepts in simple terms. Tune in next time as we continue to break down complex legal ideas into digestible tidbits. And remember, knowledge is power. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button for regular updates.